Episode 1 of the Shards starts with an older Bret narrating the first time he went to watch the Shining film after it came out in 1980. Admittedly, he was a fan of the books and was inspired enough to start writing his first novel. Well, the movie disappoints him, but while at the theater, he spots a handsome stranger. This encounter arouses something primal in him, triggering an immediate obsession. Unfortunately, he couldn't find the stranger after the movie. At the same time, a young woman comes back from the movie and discovers her dog is missing. She also notices that a few things have been moved around in her medicine cabinet. She then gets a call, but the other person just breathes on the line. Later that night, she receives another call. She leaves the house to put up posters for her missing dog and is kidnapped by a man dressed in black. According to Bret, there is a serial killer on the loose, and he considers the early 80s as the prime serial killer era. At the time, he had no idea how close he and his friends were to the looming danger in LA. Meanwhile, Bret introduces us to the wealthy, glossy lifestyle of his friend group. To kick things off, we meet Susan Reynolds, the main it girl of the elite Buckley prep school. She is dating the popular Tom Wright, and Bret admits that he also has feelings for her. However, he is currently dating Debbie Schaefer, another popular girl at the school. Her parents are in a lavender marriage, and Bret doesn't take her seriously. The truth is he was having multiple affairs with different boys, namely Matt and Ryan. He is heartbroken when Ryan asks for some distance at the last party before school reopens. At the same party, Susan, who leads the student council, announces that they will have a new student next semester. They all find it odd, but couldn't care much about this alleged Robert Mallory. Also at the party, Bret chats a bit with Debbie's dad, Terry, who doesn't even try to hide his interest in him. His literary agent Stephen Reinhardt interrupts and takes pictures of Bret. In the meantime, a drunk Liz, Debbie's mom, accuses Bret of seducing her husband. Thankfully, Stephen intervenes. On the other hand, Debbie sniffs some drugs as she waits for Bret to drop by her room. She receives a call, but hangs up when the other party says nothing. She assumes it is just another pervert. Bret heads upstairs and has a quickie with Debbie before leaving for Matt's place. He seems more interested in Matt, who likes weed and keeping a low profile. Matt mentions that someone took his pet fish and cat. They don't think much about it, assuming it was his mom or the housemaid. After sex, Bret tells Matt that they need to stop hooking up. The latter is hurt but pretends otherwise. Meanwhile, the police discover a mutilated body of one of the missing girls at a tennis court. On the first day of senior year, the students at Buckley discover a mutilated dog and a desecrated mascot statue. Before arriving at school, Bret had already heard about the murders on the radio, and he was on edge. To calm him down, Susan offers him a pill. Over lunch hour, the new student, Robert Mallory, makes his way to the gang and introduces himself. He turns out to be the same guy Bret saw at the theater months earlier. However, Robert denies ever being at the theater or seeing the movie. This immediately raises red flags in Bret's mind. Robert lies about being kicked out of his former school. Apparently, his parents divorced, his mom died, and his aunt decided to take him in. After school, Bret follows Robert, and an intense car chase ensues. Robert beats him at his own game, and they finally meet at the mall. Robert warns him that he doesn't like being followed and insists he is mistaken. He brings up Susan's relationship with Tom. All these questions annoy Bret, and he gets angrier when Robert psychologically reads him, saying, "When you talk to me, you're really talking to yourself, dude." A furious Bret heads home and watches the news update on the Trawler serial killer. He then receives a call, and someone on the other end is sobbing. They suddenly start screaming, "Help me. Please help me." Based on this debut episode, it looks like the series is planning to stay loyal to the book. The show honors the catalog of materialism, like the cars and luxurious styles of the characters from the books. We also have the iconic detached narration and Ellis prose style. Thanks to these elements, the show fully captures the book's core dynamic. That said, the series deviates a bit from the serial killer timeline, but that's understandable. It is a TV show after all. Initially, we were a little apprehensive about how Murphy's glossy, overdramatic, gory signature would mesh with Ellis's cold literary nihilism. This debut episode has certainly surprised us in a good way. Murphy's restraint in this one comes through, allowing the show to find a perfect balance. We also have to talk about the cinematography and how well the show pulls off the glamorous life of these rich teenagers in LA back in the 80s. The palette, lighting contrast, and camera angles all coordinate to give us this summer noir dark thriller. Even so, the episode felt a bit empty, with not much truly happening. Will the Shards manage to give us a sharp psychological season, given how slow-burning and dense its 600-page source material is?